In today's latest news, we have some massive updates around Enzo Fernandez. My friends, we are coming back for round 2 and we are preparing to make another move to sign Enzo Fernandez. But that isn't all. We then move on to discussing massive news around 19-year-old French right back in Malo because it's reported that we are preparing to make a bid to sign him before this month ends. And before we end things too, we also discuss Joao Felix and a secret clause that has finally been revealed in his loan deal. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, my friends. Hit that like button. We need to keep being ambitious. I want to get 2.5k likes for today's video. Please help me reach that goal. And please share your thoughts and opinions on the stories below. Hope you guys enjoy it. But before we start with things, I need to get a big announcement out of the way first. Today's video is brought to you by friends of the channel in OneFootball. Download OneFootball right now. I'm actually recommending you to download it right now to stay up to date to all the crazy stories and transfers that will go down later this month. Of course, we are still looking to sign a right back and a midfield player, and OneFootball is the place to get all the latest news updates from across Europe straight on your phone. As we're seeing right here, Barca considering shocked Real Madrid swoop, as well as Enzo move being back on as well too. That isn't it though. If you want to get more specific news, of course, make sure you follow Chelsea Football Club to stay up to date to all the club-specific transfers happening right now. So, what are you guys waiting for? Download OneFootball to stay up to date to all things football. You'll find a link below in the description and, of course, in the top comment too. So right now, let's start with things and let's discuss Joao Felix and this clause in the loan deal. Now for me, this is the most obvious news of the entire month. All these stories and videos and reports around the fact that we've been like shags for signing Joao Felix on loan. We spent stupid money. I didn't understand the criticism behind signing him on loan. I mean, it's Joao Felix, one of the top young prospects in European football. Let's keep things honest. Regardless, we got some information from The Athletic today, and they report that naturally there is a clause in this loan agreement which opens the door for a permanent deal to happen at the end of the season. I mean, right now, Atleti are already planning for life after Joao Felix. Realistically, Simeone is not going, contrary to all the rumours coming out, and they've recently signed Memphis Depay from Barcelona. They want to rebuild. They're getting out all the players that haven't necessarily settled at Atleti. That's guys like Cunha, Felix, plus a lot more. For me, it was kind of common sense that any permanent talks would happen during the summer. So I'm very excited by this news. You guys know that I absolutely love Joao Felix and I cannot wait for this guy to come back to the team. Like right now, it's so exciting. I can't wait for the games to come back. It's annoying that we have like a 2-week break right now, but honestly, this second half of this season could actually go down in the memory books. So that's the Joao Felix news out the way. It's now time to turn our attentions to the massive news currently around another Enzo Fernandez move. Now these reports first came this morning from Records in Portugal, and they later got supported by The Guardian and other publications in the UK and across Europe as well too. That's it you guys, that's the confirmation. We are coming back to make another move to hopefully, fingers crossed, try and sign and reach an agreement to get Enzo Fernandez. The thing we have in our favour is that Enzo wants to sign for us. He's made his intentions very clear with Benfica. But the stumbling block is Benfica remain adamant that the full 120 million valuation in that release clause has to be paid in one go. Now it has been confirmed that sources are set to hold talks with Benfica over renewed talks, and I guess the reality we're all thinking right now is, are we going to repeat history, or are we really serious now to strike a deal and make some business happen? Because Benfica have been upfront this entire time. Now I've had to make some amendments to this story because we have more news coming out from Records in Portugal, and this news comes courtesy of one of the leading agents in Portugal, and he's given his confirmation now as a third source, a third party, that yes, we really are restarting talks to try and sign Enzo Fernandez. Now this agent in particular is seen as like the leader of the Portuguese agent circles, and it seems like he is possibly giving us some insight behind what this bid could actually look like. And it seems like maybe 100 million euros could be enough to try and get this deal over the line. For him, he thinks it's a fair fee for all parties. Benfica earn a lot of money. Enzo Fernandez gets to sign for us and earn a bumper contract, of course, and we get the midfield player we need to revamp and evolve our midfield. It seems like 100 million euros could be a fair fee that satisfies all parties. Realistically, can Benfica expect to earn anywhere as close to this amount of money in any future bids? Most likely not. The player wants to sign for us as well too. It seems like something is cooking behind the scenes. Now, in Portugal, their window ends 2 days after ours ends, so technically there's a lot of time for Benfica to find the right replacement. But of course, we're all thinking this. Can we do the impossible? Can we strike a deal? We're seeing unprecedented spending right now to rebuild this team as fast as possible. It makes sense. You don't want to waste a few years taking your time to rebuild a team. It defeats the purpose. So we have to spend big now to restructure this entire organization. And with news like this, I'm sorry, but I can only theorize from this point forward. And there's two theories in particular that I have. And my thing is, if we are coming back to hold more talks to try and sign him, are we potentially looking to take a risk on a gamble? And for me, that gamble is Champions League football. Now in the Premier League table right now, we are only 10 points off a top 4 finish. And with the context of how this season has been going down, teams are constantly taking points off each other. I don't see teams like United going on like 10-game win streaks. No team's doing that this season. And I feel like one advantage we have in our favour is that teams won't be prepared for us right now. We have new players. That brings new solutions and new ways to contain our team. And normally with football, managers don't have time every single week to, solely work on tactics in the squad. A lot of times all that preparation gets done during pre-season. So technically, we could have an advantage when it comes to climbing up the table right now. And I guess my thinking is, do the board potentially see Enzo Fernandez as that gamble to secure Champions League football? Because if he was introduced to this squad right now with the players we have currently, this is a brand new team, brand new identity. The rules are completely different now. That's the only way I see things if we are considering, of course, meeting the demands that Benfica have. But now let me move on to theory number 2. And we know how the deal first went down during the start of this month. We presented an 85 million offer as well as Hakim Ziyech on a permanent plus 2 loans in Fofana as well as Santos too. And in my opinion, I think that's more than fair. That's a very good offer and I don't think it was disrespectful. But when we started talks, we said to Benfica, we were talking about potentially doing something with the full amount. At the time, we all collectively thought that, okay, it's a plan to find an installment package that satisfies the demands that Benfica want, but we find a way to structure the deal over time. And we never presented that offer. I guess at the start of the month, you want to come in with your lowest bids, and I guess maybe now things are a bit different. If we can sell some players, that's going to help us in regards to FFP. If we're getting players off the wage bill as well too, that brings more flexibility in terms of spending. Now, of course, I don't have like official club figures. I don't see what these guys are seeing behind the scenes, but these people aren't idiots, even though we like to think that they are. If we're entertaining more talks, it must mean that we're coming in with a better offer than the last one we presented. And we've shown under this board that we will be in the long run if we really want to sign a player and strike a deal. So they're my 2 theories. These are the theories that are giving me hope right now. And of course, I got to have some faith and trust in the transfer team and the board, because if we're coming back in again, we're not going to be making a worse offer. And it's got me thinking, what could these talks actually be about? And I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Do you guys in the comment section share your thoughts and opinions? Do you think the Enzo dream is still alive, or do you think we're getting our hopes up too much and we need to come back down to reality? Let us know where you fall behind this conversation. So right now we move on to another massive story that came out today, and we talk 19-year-old Malo who's playing for Lyon and who's having a very good season. He had a top game versus Paris Saint-Germain, and instantly, you guys, this is a move I fully support, and I'm going to explain why as you're watching this video. So let's start off by discussing the news that came out. The rebuild is not over, and as reported by The Telegraph earlier this morning, we are getting ready to present an undisclosed offer to Lyon to kickstart negotiations to sign Gusto before this month ends. Now, all of us know that we need to sign right back competition because our season has a habit of falling down when Reece James in particular is not playing in this team. Ideally, Lyon prefer to keep him, but Gusto's contract expires next summer, and technically if he doesn't agree to an extension right now, his value is really low. So similar to Badiashile, it makes sense to make a move for him when his value is at a very affordable rate. Now, I'm sure that most of you were expecting me to talk about Livramento, and of course I'm going to do that, but for me, guys, it's very simple. Unfortunately, timing is against Livramento. Of course, he's injured. He needs time to get back, and realistically, we don't have any time to wait to make any moves for any player for the following window if we can secure someone like a Malo for right now. Obviously, peak timing, And I'd always say that it didn't make sense to me that he was not kept here at this football club, considering we need a profile like this. But now that Gusto is a real opportunity here, we have to take it with both hands, in my opinion. Signing a fullback is so key, especially for the big teams. Big teams like us, City, Bayern, etc, etc, most times you're coming up against teams who are sitting back and parking the bus, so it means that you need to take full advantage of all the possession you have, and this is where the fullback area has become more important, and this is where the fullback area has grown in importance. Now fullbacks need to be able to be comfortable in all phases of the game at the top level. They need to add some attacking threat down the flanks. They need to be effective in the build-up phase and add to the midfield, and they need to help, of course, defend the wide areas when they sit back. It's a very demanding area, and now big teams need great technicians playing on either flank. There's a reason why Man City spent so much money on fullbacks, because it really is that key if you're playing box to box throughout an entire game. So this is a move this squad has needed for a very long time now, and right now I need to discuss why I'm so excited by this news and what Malo Gusto can bring to us throughout the entirety of the season. Now, two things I love about this guy. Number one is the pace. If I'm signing competition at right back, I like my guys to have different profiles. They can offer something different to the team. It can bring unique solutions to the team. And I feel like we don't have that proper pacey threat from those wide positions. And that's key because a guy like this can really pin back the opposition player. And if you want to have your guys playing free roaming attacking football in the final thirds, you need fullbacks that can bring fear and really pin opposition players back. Gusto is extremely explosive, very fast, great recovery pace, and he's very technical too. He's got very good ball retention. This is a guy that can play in tight spaces. He has great understanding of movement. His link-up play in the wide areas is super effective. Of course, he has the underlapping runs and overlapping runs patterns. Of course, he knows when to make the overloads out the flanks too, and he brings very good offensive and creative threats down the flanks. But one of the best things about his game is this guy's progressive passing. I mean, you guys have seen the stats on screen. Wow, I mean, this guy is what you need when it comes to playing out from the back. And this is why we miss Reece James the most when he's out of the team, because we miss that extra build-up player down the right hand side, and that's something Azpi can't do to the same level. But technically, Malo Gusto, based on the stats, is one of the best fullbacks in Europe when it comes to progressing play from the wide areas. Stats like 1.1 dribbles per game as well too, plus the fact that he can also influence with his passing. He's not one-dimensional. He is a bit similar in terms of, he does have an air of Reece James importance in terms of, you know, just how important he is for the team, especially when he's playing for Lyon. But to have a guy that can switch the ball, that can play those 1-2s, that can find guys in the channels out wide, play balls over the top, and is comfortable in receiving in tight areas help with the build-up. This is top. And you're telling me he can also defend as well too, and he's not just like a pretty face? Come on. This is a player you sign in at 19 years old. We're potentially securing France's #1 right back for this generation for a very affordable fee by signing him now. So I'm really excited to see where this story develops. We need someone like this, and I feel like we're really building potentially the best team in Europe right now. It's mad, this transformation we're seeing in like 6 months, you guys. So right now I need to wrap things up and keep things moving. Expect there to be more content coming out throughout the entirety of this week. Thank you to everyone watching the videos, and a quick apology for the flipping clats I keep doing in videos. I had a real mare editing yesterday. I had a lot of issues behind the scenes, and I think I had some distractions too, so apologies for the pretty poor presentation, my bad for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video and made some out. And if you want to get involved in the convo, of course you guys will find a link. Of course you guys will find a link in the card above. So on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.